Saturday, most of you will see the Fighting Irish again. And do they have a match against Purdue and Drew Brees. Brees, a leading Heisman Trophy candidate. And also on our regional coverage, some of you will see California, Nebraska, or Virginia, Clemson next Saturday, 3:30 Eastern on ABC. Tommy Lopinski stops it at the fullback spot, and Jay Johnson is the wideout to the right here. This is second down for Notre Dame. Good looking drive. Fisher slashes for the first down just inside the 5-yard line. This will be first and goal. Dhani Jones making the stop.
Well, Dhani Jones is 231 pounds, and he's got to fight off the block of the fullback coming right at him there. That's Lopinski. That's a great play by Jones. He doesn't make that tackle. Fisher's in the end zone.
So the time runs out on the first quarter. Bob Davies' Irish, though, will be looking good when we start the second. We'll be back after this message and word from our ABC stations. Michigan kicks 2 field goals in the opening quarter, but now as we start the second quarter, Notre Dame with a first and goal from just inside the Wolverine 5-yard line. So they load up with that full house look. Lopinski, good-looking youngster, is in at that fullback spot, and he dove to about the 3-yard line, where it will be second down and goal for Notre Dame.
You certainly get the feeling that Notre Dame is not too worried about their bad start in the first quarter, because Michigan only turned it into 6-point lead. And as an offense, you know that 6 points is just one big play or two. We've seen the big play, the 47-yard pass to Fisher down the sidelines. And it's an offense of Kevin Rogers. He got exactly what he wanted. He got a running back on a linebacker, and that's a great mismatch.
Victor Hobson, a freshman linebacker, checks in for Michigan. This is second and goal. Jackson keeps it on the option. Late pitch out of bounds. So it is third and goal. Boy, Jerry is dangerous on that late pitch a couple of times here today, Dan.
All you have to do is look at all those helmets, those beautiful Michigan helmets, getting around that ball. They stopped the fullback part of it. They forced Jarius to pitch, and because they're on the short side of the field,
there is no penalty.
Because they're on the short side of the field, there was no room for the last option of the triple option.
You know, coming to the short side of the field, if you will, that time. They were over here on the left hash. Jackson did not have as much room as if they'd strung that out the other way. So let's see what they come up with here on third and goal. Tony Fisher is the tailback. He's in behind Lopinski. Oh, a beautiful call end around, and Joey Devereaux walks into the end zone. A great call. And there's the man who sent it in.
Great use of your personnel. Joey Devereaux is one of the fastest men on the Irish team. But I think that maybe Bob Davie could have walked this one in. You talk about fooling 11 Wolverines. The option, the threat of Jarius Jackson going right to the wide side was just too much. Easy score for Notre Dame.
Jimmy Sanson on for the extra point. Pounds it through, and Notre Dame leads for the first time today. And the reason why they were able to move down the field is this 47-yard mistake. A beautifully conceived play. A linebacker on the running back. The linebacker turns him loose. And Brooks is no match. 47 yards later, the Irish threaten, and they wind up with their first touchdown. Timeout. Win now at Sanson's back. The Wolverines, the organization, signed a $2.5 million contract. The crowd now recognizing the fact that Henson has come on the field. They'll go without a huddle, and now it is Brady who will be on the headphones to upstairs. And Henson into the wind, fires first play of the game, and it very close to a first down at the 30-yard line. We'll see. And let's quickly go to New York now for an update, and here's John Saunders. It was first down, John.
Brent, thanks a lot. Back to you in a moment. But first, your Burger King Win Your Way update. Wisconsin and Murray State. Ron Dane, 15 yards in one of his 3 touchdowns today, 135 yards. He did not see any play in the second half. That's going to hurt him. He's going to catch Ricky Williams. Brent.
All right, John, and here we've got Drew Henson putting it in the A-Train's belly. 5 more yards for Michigan, and a Johnny Sanders, the strong safety for the Irish, makes the stop.
Tom Brady had a good start, so he's got to feel real good about his performance. But you know, Drew Henson comes off the bench, and first play, it's a pass play, and he threw an absolute strike, so his confidence has got to be way up there as well.
At the 36-yard line, the A-Train, Clifford Jefferson makes the stop, and we had a chance to chat with Drew Henson yesterday and ask him, how important is college football in your life? Here's what he said.
My biggest goal since I've been younger was to be a college quarterback. And right now, I'm in the middle of that, and after this year, I only have 2 left. And so I'm in no hurry to rush my life away. And say I want to go play baseball or even the NFL, possibly down the line, is not as big to me as being in Michigan right now.
And here he is, his ambition, 3rd and 4, fires first down again. 2 for 2. He puts it in Terrell's hands that time for the Michigan first down.
Just got a feeling that he and Terrell really not only enjoy each other, they seem to be friends off the field, but Terrell's smart enough to know that this is the future. And he's only a sophomore, so he may be catching a lot of passes from Drew Henson.
Drew Henson made his collegiate debut as a freshman in South Bend a year ago. Game was a bit out of the wood, and he drove the Wolverines 80 yards for a touchdown. He now has Walter Cross behind him as the Wolverine running back. Play fake, in trouble, in the face, downfield, incomplete. Hit on the release, intended for Marcus Knight. Throw was high, and I don't think Mr. Henson was ever. Sends the A-Train back into the game. 2nd down and 10. On a draw. Thomas for a couple of yards, and time now for our Affleck trivia question. So many great questions about this rivalry. Let's try you on this one. When it resumed back in '78, remember they called it off for a long time. Who were the starting quarterbacks for Michigan and Notre Dame in '78? A couple of fellows you all remember. 3rd down and 8.
If I get the answer right, do I get $1 million?
One of the all-time Irish fans, Regis Philbin's down there. You can ask him. He'll have that answer for you. 3rd down. Henson pulling out, and they stopped the play. There was a whistle.
This is one of the dangers of changing quarterbacks. They may say that there's no difference in the cadence, but in the heat of battle, there's always a difference.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty. The down remains 3rd.
Jackaroo.
Well, Brent, one of the things that Bob Davie was concerned about is the height discrepancy between his defensive second.
That bounced a few off helmets.
3rd down, Henson to the middle of the rope, first down. You talk about a rifle arm. Here's a young man who was a pitcher way back when, but said he did not want the stress and strain on his arm, moved over to 3rd base, and folks, that was a bullet of 25 yards.
Well, you hear words like a sensation, he's a phenom. This is what they've seen in practice. A rope of 25 yards right on the numbers to the receiver. Knight doesn't even have to think about anything but how hard that ball is going to hit him in the chest.
Remember, he was hit on the release on his only incompletion. So he is averaging 10 yards a pass. That's phenomenal. Play fake again, down the field, got his tight end and overthrowing that time, Sean Thompson. But it was close, folks, real close to being on the money. They may have the real thing waiting here at Michigan.
That gives you an idea why Lloyd Carr was so reluctant to name Tom Brady as the starting quarterback. This kid is special. There's no question about it. He handles himself maturely, and I think the last summer where he spent time in the minor leagues added to his maturity process.
Pounded 13 home runs. The Yankees will tell you he's one of their best prospects in the minor league system right now. Here's the A train slamming through the middle. Irish bring him down at the 28-yard line. Deke Cooper, their fine free safety. 10:25 remaining here in the first half with Dan Fouts. I'm Brent Musburger. Michigan kicked 2 first quarter field goals and gave up a touchdown early in the second, trailing by a point. Drew Henson quarterbacking the Wolverines here in the second quarter, and he has them on the move. This is a 3rd and 1 play coming up. The other thing about Henson is he is a mobile quarterback. Handed it off that time, and why not? The A train didn't stop till he reached the 25-yard line, and another first down, Wolverine. The touchdown of Notre Dame, Dan, it was a thing of beauty.
Well, they ran the option. They faked the option to the wide side, and Getherall from 4 yards out points his way into the end zone, but a well-designed, well-conceived play.
You know, remember when I commented about the short side option just moments before that? You know, Kevin set that play up all the way.
Absolutely.
A great play caller sequences, and that's what he did. He said, you know, they'll think I become an option to the wide side. And, of course, they flew so hard to the ball that time, Getherall walked on in. Play fake now, Henson. Here's the mobility on the move. Fires incomplete. Wisely threw that ball away that time, too. There was nothing going, and he was on the move.
Yeah, you talk about the triple option. Well, maybe Notre Dame has a quad option now where they can use a speedster like Getherall on the reverse.
There's your current drive under Henson. This is his opening drive here in the second quarter. And Lloyd Carr says he'll make his decision based on how they play in the game. You cannot fault Brady. But Henson has shown us a rifle arm. And remember, he's going into the wind right now. Here is Anthony. Pounds to the 21-yard line.
All carried by Anthony Thomas.
Steve Hutchinson, one of the tri-captains, is the left guard for Michigan. And he told us yesterday every offensive line should be lucky enough to have a running back like Anthony Thomas, because he will take the smallest hole that the offensive line provides and he'll make something out of it. Got great power, and he really lowers his shoulders and his head and drives for that extra yard or two.
Michigan not as deep at that tailback spot as they have been, but they could be awfully good with the A train there. 3rd down. Henson pulls it down. Short. Well short of the first down. Well defended that time by the Irish. Knight was trying to work his way free in the middle of the field, and they simply would not give up. Carlos Pierre-Antoine out of Everett, Washington. Dennis Erickson's hometown. He made the stop.
Remember, the defensive coordinator for the Irish, Greg Madison, is in his 3rd year at Notre Dame, spent 5 years here at Michigan. He knows what this rivalry is all about from both sides.
So Jeff Delverne attempting to regain the lead for Michigan. 37-yard attempt. Tom Brady, the holder. And he does just that. 3 Delverne field goals. They regain the lead on Notre Dame, 9-7. Timeout. In Ann Arbor, Michigan. Hope you get a chance to visit here and see a college football game if you're a big fan of the game. This is a great university and a great setting. Notre Dame, Michigan, you can't go wrong with a road trip to either of those places, I'll tell you that. Now we'll see how Epstein does into this little breeze here this time. Let's see if the Irish get a run back at it. It's Getherall who scored the touchdown back deep, along with Driver. Been some great games in this rivalry, huh? Talked about the Rocket. Oh, what a leg. What a leg. Underwent surgery and still strong. But how about 1990, September 15th, Michigan and Notre Dame. Michigan was ranked 1, Notre Dame 4. Michigan led by 10 in the second, and then Rick Meyer went to work. His first start. The winning pass to Adrian Gerald with 1:40 left in the game. 28-24 the Irish. And that is so appropriate because last night Rick Meyer, now playing with the New York Jets, threw 3 touchdown passes for the Jets in relief of Vinny Testaverde. Couldn't be happier for a young man.
Well, maybe he won't have to add any more of those team decals to his suitcase. Maybe he's found a home there with Bill Parcells of all people.
First down and 10. Jarius Jackson brings the Irish up to the line. Tony Fisher caught that 47-yarder matched against the linebacker. Is the feature back for the Irish. Jarius coming down the line, puts it in his hands on a beautiful option play, and Fisher does the rest. Out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. Dwayne Patman, the free safety.
And leading the way on the outside was the tight end Jabari Holloway. He split out wide against the corner Todd Howard. And now as they come down the line of scrimmage, there's no force by Michigan, and there's only one guy to option. On the outside, there's the block by Holloway. There's the speed of Fisher. Oh, I like this offense. It attacks the field widthwise and lengthwise.
There's the tight end moving up. So a 41-yarder and a 40-yarder for that young man right there. They come right back with him to the 37. And of course, next week on prime time, we've got a great split national for you next Saturday night. Ohio State on the rebound after that tough loss to Miami takes on UCLA in the Horseshoe in Columbus, Ohio. Or you will see Georgia Tech, Florida State. The Seminoles ranked number 1, and I'll tell you, Georgia Tech going to have a fine football team this year. Joey Hamilton there at the reins. Those 2 games, good ones. Second down and 7. Option look, and Jackson wrestled down at the 40-yard line. Foot and haul.
That's called making a defensive adjustment. Notre Dame came out with basically the same formation with Holloway split out wide, but watch the adjustment that Jim Herman makes with this call. He's got somebody to take the pitch man, and there's a couple of defensive backs outside that will close in on Jackson. Herman was concerned that his team wouldn't be used to game speed. There's no way to simulate that in practice.
Brown and Nelson, the wideouts, off to the left of Jackson. And blown dead before the snap.
Somebody along that offensive line flinched. Michigan man did jump first, and that's why we're having this discussion.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, the down remains 3rd.
Jackaroo.
Brent, one of the concerns that defensive coordinator for Michigan, Jim Herman, had about his defense was the fact that they hadn't been tested under pressure. I asked him, when do you know whether your team is in the flow? He said, you know when you send them in there, you give them a package, and they execute perfectly. I think maybe that defense is now in the flow.
Well, they face a 3rd and 14 here, Jack. Split back look for the Irish. Fisher missed a block that time, and coming through is Larry Foote, the inside linebacker. Jackson did not have a chance as the running back fanned on the block, and Foote was all over Jackson.
Great speed by Foote, number 17 from the right side here. There he comes. There's the dive by Fisher, and there's the sack of the quarterback.
To the Irish to punt it away. Joey Hildbold. The wind at his back, and Marcus Knight back deep. drives the ball. Marcus going to let it go out of bounds. And it's going to be marked at the 12-yard line. So we'll take a break. Michigan leads Notre Dame on the strength of 3 field goals. Timeout. To the quarterback's left. Fumble the snap again. Loose ball on the ground at the 11-yard line. So that's the second snap problem. David Brandt, the center, jumping on the ball. And the Aflac trivia question, speaking of quarterbacks, when that rivalry resumed between these two schools in '78, who were the starters? Remember these two names, Joe Montana at Notre Dame, Rick Leach at Michigan. But how about this? It was Leach who came from behind that day and won 28-14. Now a yard loss for young Henson. Second down at 11. In trouble, and down he goes at the 5-yard line. Hit by Lamont Bryant, the senior defensive end. The Irish very talented in that defensive line, and there was penetration that time.
It's really a nice stunt by Notre Dame along that defensive line, anticipating the pass play from Henson. They got exactly what they wanted. Watch the twist here between Weaver and Bryant. It doesn't get any better than that. It's the way the defensive coaches draw it up.
And Shea couldn't close down. He was trying to help out blocking that time too. Now here's a huge play for Notre Dame if they can force Michigan to punt from their own end zone. 3rd and 16. And they got a shot. Oh, they're pounding with Sanders, their strong safety, on the A train. And now it'll be up to Corey Sargent, and he will be standing very close to that end line when he receives the snap here. This is a big moment for Notre Dame because they're going to get field position. He's into that breeze, remember. Left-footed punter. Getherall standing at the 40. Gets it off, hangs it high, fair catch at the 41-yard line. An ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by the new Impala by Chevrolet. Let's go for a drive. Right, and he'll come in motion. Driver, great fake, kept it, got him, incomplete. Joey Getherall broke wide open, but what a fake, because from up here, it looked like Driver had pounded into the middle of the line. Jarius Jackson with a little magic that time.
Good job by the secondary, recognizing that Getherall was going to be the receiver. Watch number 41 right here. He sees him now, and this forces the ball to be thrown down the middle and not out in front of Getherall.
2nd down and 10. Now it's Driver. Inside the 35-yard line, and Hendricks again hanging on. Is Tommy Hendricks one of the better looking safeties that we've seen in a long time? That late recognition. And a reminder coming up on Valvoline Halftime 99. John Sanders and Terry Bowden will have scores and highlights coming to you from our New York studios.
It's a good sign that Hendricks is making a lot of tackles. It's a bad sign that Hendricks is making a lot of tackles.
3rd down and 2. Good speed, number 45 switches. There's a penalty flag down. The linesman over here on the near side. Prior to the snap, they stopped it.
Jackson made an audible there, shifted it good speed to his right side and ran the option there. Held his down lineman too long in the same position.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty. The down remains 3rd.
Larry Foote dashes in again, and he replaces Eric Wilson. Gives him a little bit more mobility on the defensive side of the ball. Javen Hunter is split in now. Replaces Bobby Brown for the Irish. He and Nelson are the wideouts. third down. And Jackson for a first down. Another good-looking scramble by Jarius Jackson.
He definitely feels more comfortable pulling it down than looking for a second or third receiver. And why not? His strength really is in his running ability. Watch as he comes back here. The pass protection is excellent. He's got time to find somebody, but he also sees that big hole over the middle. And look at the shot he takes from Josh Williams. Didn't even phase him.
Now they send Holloway, the tight end, wide to the left. Come back with the fullback, and good speed. Pounds to the 26 with Eric Wilson bringing him down for the Wolverines.
Yeah, you may not think that that's much of a gain for Notre Dame, but when you already talked about it, Brent, this is a type of offense, the option offense, that you set plays up. And part of the option is to give the ball to the fullback. That keeps the defense honest. And that opens up the plays to the outside.
2nd and 7, and the Irish bringing down the closing minute 5 here of the half. Fake. Jackson fires. Incomplete, penalty flag. And the penalty has been called on Todd Howard, the corner. So an automatic first down. Final minute remaining here in the half, and this is a costly penalty.
Pass interference, defense. It's a spot foul, automatic first down.
Sometimes a cornerback can cover too closely. Howard has got great coverage on the outside here. And he's just a little over anxious. That was real close, but the official was right on the spot, had a view from it from the side, so he saw the contact before the ball got there.
Ball is down at the Michigan 12-yard line. Final minute of the half. Irish trail it by 2, 9-7. The blitz is picked up beautifully by the fullback. Oh, what a block. And now Jackson dances to the end zone. Touchdown, Notre Dame. But what a block by Joey Goodspeed, who picked off the linebacker and crushed him.
Two weeks in a row now, Jarius Jackson has turned a disaster into a touchdown. Last week against Kansas, he broke a tackle in the backfield and scored. And with his help from his big fullback, he gets in the end zone again.
Jimmy Sampson on for the extra point. Folks, I want you to take a look at Joey Goodspeed. Now watch Jones on the blitz, has got the alley. Watch this. Stands him up. Now he holds the block, and Jarius cuts back. Jones has no chance. And Jackson simply does the rest. Notre Dame 14, Michigan 9, timeout. Drives it. This one will come out on the 20-yard line. Let's check in New York now with John and Terry.
Brent, coming up on Valvoline Halftime 99, all the day's scores and highlights. Plus, Terry will take a look at the first half.
This has been a close game like always, but Michigan's going to have to learn to stick it into the end zone.
All right, it's all coming up on Valvoline Halftime 99. Back to Brent.
Yeah, John, I think Terry makes a very valid point there. 3 field goals, and they had a chance, certainly, to pound in touchdowns, and they settle for 3 every time they threaten. On the other side, the Irish have put 7 up there when they got the opportunity, and that'll take its toll. Michigan with timeouts. Henson against the breeze. 51 seconds, trailing 14-9. They give him a 4-pack of wide receivers, but it's going to be up to this offensive line. They've had their hands full against this defensive front. They like to run to see if they can surprise him on first down. And Anthony Denman, inside linebacker, another one of the talented Texans on the field on both sides, makes a stop for the Irish. Picked up 5 yards on that run. 2nd down and 5. Henson, shotgun look. Fired quickly and incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
It's curious that Michigan, with 3 timeouts here at the end of the first half, did not use one there after the running play. Some time get off the clock there.
Ron Israel in at safety for the Irish. He and Deke Cooper both playing 2 deep and deeper. Over the middle, incomplete. Overthrew Marcus Knight that time, and it was not a well-thrown ball.
Now, if ever there was a time for a team to come after a punter, I would expect Notre Dame to go all out and try to block this punt. How many punts have we seen already in the college football year that have been just crucial?
Sargent hangs a beauty. Getherall back to the 21-yard line and down at the 26-yard line.
Second by 18, Joey Bennett.
And the final seconds of this half will tick away. So Kevin Rogers, who came in here to the big house with Donovan McNabb in Syracuse and now is the offensive coordinator at Notre Dame, brings a few option wrinkles into the big house with him. Tricks of the